After our great experience in Pomorie, we continued our way north and came a cropper a little bit in terms of being able to find a place to stay. It was really crowded and hot, and we got a little desperate. And we came upon this place, and it sort of looked okay. It's in a town with the odd name, believe it or not, of Sveti, Konstantin, and Elena. That's the name of the town. Anyway, this place we stayed in was an all-inclusive resort. And it was originally residences built by the Russians for their high-level officials who were sort of controlling Bulgaria at the time. They've turned it into this hotel. It's called all-inclusive. It means you get 3 meals a day, but the meals are sort of what you might expect at a low-level Las Vegas buffet, that sort of thing. And you get free drinks. Drinks are included. And the drinks come from this kind of gruff Bulgarian guy behind the bar who treats the liquor like he was pouring it out of his own liquor cabinet. On the first night here, Pammy and I went in for dinner and found out we were about 15 minutes late. And after several drinks, we went back up to our room, and that night for dinner, we had almonds and cinnamon gummy bears. It's probably better than what they were serving anyway. When we did go down to the restaurant for breakfast the next morning, most of what you saw were big fat Russian women stuffing their faces with pancakes and French toast. They loved it. This part of Bulgaria is really sort of overrun with Russians. A lot of Germans too, but mostly Russians. And they find that the prices here are really cheap. So you end up with a kind of a big blue-collar crowd intent on using up every penny's worth of their money at this all-inclusive restaurant. It's not a pretty picture, frankly. In the evening here, they do a really nice thing. They put on a musical production with all the kids, from the youngest on to the oldest, each performing in succession in groups. The parents come and watch. And they have costumes and music, and there's a leader. And with the little ones, you can see the leader jumping around and waving her arms, trying to help the kids dance. And it goes on for a couple hours, with each succeeding group being a little more sophisticated in their performance. When we left Konstantin and Elena, we started our way back west and worked our way north up to the Danube. We're at a city called Ruse. It's spelled R-U-S-E, pronounced Ruse. And this is the hotel we stayed at here in this city. It overlooks the Danube. You can see this wonderful architecture. You're not sure if it's a hotel or a prison. Actually, our room was very nice. We had a very comfortable spot and a balcony, windows at least, overlooking the Danube. And we had a very nice room. We're in it right now. This seems to be a good time to mention the difficulties of moving around in these Bulgarian cities. It's just unreal. We're using the Pammy's iPhone Maps application, and it does sort of tell us where to go, but it's unbelievable because usually there are no road signs at all. And if there does happen to be what seems to be a road sign, it's written in Cyrillic. You can't make out anything. And then, when the woman on the iPhone tells you what to do, she will say, take Kammerstrumendaka and then merge onto Ksikanakapuki. And you don't have a clue as to what to do. And sometimes when you're supposed to merge, there are like 3 options. There's no way to select the right one. You can sort of follow the distances if it's just a right turn or a left turn, because it'll say 400 yards, 200 yards, 90 feet, all that. But the rest of it is really tough. You want to think twice before you travel in a country that has not only a totally different language, but a totally different alphabet. Just think about it a little bit. This is the Danube from our hotel room. On the other side of the Danube is Romania. Here's this fight. They're doing, the one in the dress is a little girl. She's facing off against this guy. She's not swinging too hard at him, I'm afraid. She's good defensive and she's game. but she's not giving him much. Oh, she went for his legs. Whack, hit him in the head. Whack, whack. Hit the son of a bitch. Hit him in the nuts. In the afternoon here in Ruse, they had some kind of a medieval fair. And this thing, the kids held a big sword. It'd spin around, then you're supposed to cut a cabbage in half. A lot of dead cabbages laying around here. Then there was this jousting. They'd put pads on, joust like this and whack each other. In this one, you can see there's a little girl. She was a tough little thing, too. She gave as good as she took out there in that jousting business. They whacked away, and they had kind of a guide who would help them. And then once in a while, he'd get involved and allow them to beat the heck out of him with these padded clubs. There's medieval music playing and people milling around. It was really fun to watch. This is the outdoor dining area down below, out on the back of our Grand Riga Hotel here in Ruse. It looks down on the Danube behind there. It's really a pretty place and a lovely place to have dinner. Pammy and I had a great time there. And this is, of course, Miss Pammy. Behind her there in the background, it's not too clear, is the Danube, with Romania on the other side.